Good morning, I am Unai and we are the Group 3, the mechanics. In this work, we will talk about the future of Formula One competition, specifically in changes that will be made in 2021. This is the outline that we are going to follow during the presentation. So to begin, I will make a brief historical introduction about Formula One. The start of Formula One World Championship dates back to the year 1950, and since then the cars have undergone various changes throughout their history, such as aerodynamic and engine change, and the most important have been in safety and budget. In the beginning, the cars had poor security because the chassis were made of very hard material, meaning collision were not absorbed by the chassis. In addition to this, it is worth mentioning the driver's equipment since the only protective element were helmet, goggles, and the clothing was not flame retardant. As for the budgets, they have been varying since they only had the mechanics for a single car that was used throughout the season. The budgets have been increasing and more sponsors have appeared which have improved the quality of the competition. In recent years, the numbers of spectators has decreased since it has become less exciting in terms of the race because of the difference in aerodynamic and single-seater engines, making it difficult for competitors to overtake other and gain position. For the previous reason, for the year 2021, one of the more powerful changes in Formula One is expected, and the essence of this work is to deal with these changes, and they will be implemented for the competition.
My name is Jaime Gomez and I'm going to talk about change of owner. Bernie Ecclestone was the creator and founder owner of F1. He sold the enterprise at 85 years old. The American group Liberty Media, whose boss is John C. Malone, bought the company when he was 75 years for $8,500 million in 2017. Liberty Media promised to gradually increase the numbers of spectators, since these years were in very low numbers compared to previous years, and little by little, for 2 years it was capturing them, making subtitle change in the monosquares to increase the spectacle of the race, such as the change of the 2019 season with change of front wing to improve overtaking. The biggest change for which Liberty Media bought F1 and with which it hopes to turn the F1 180 degrees will be in 2021, which consists of the change in the regulation and totally different concept of the cars, incorporating aerodynamics elements and were seen in some past seasons, such as the group effects. The next chapter that I am going to talk is change that brings with it, racing structure. Steve Niels is the F1 sport director and thinks that it is essential to modify the structure, because making this change, the management of F1 would attract more fans. Nowadays, the directive of F1 don't know about this point, but things are already know that will be increased considerably in 2021. The main objective of Liberty Media is to attract young people to the basins. The directive also want to improve the experience that people who go to see the race live to the circuit have. Nowadays, the spectators can go to the circuit and the only thing the spectators can see are shadows passing in front of the people because there isn't anything to see race information, to know time per lap or position if the spectators are not on the grid. This isn't very well known how are going to do it, but it is a point in favor to attract more expectation. Another possible measure is removing blue flags, which make a car on one behind has to turn away when the first ones come, and removing these flags you can get more excitement, as the first are forced to pass the slower car. Same thing happened in the Resistance Challenge.
The next point that I am going to talk about is the change of car regulation. The following change will be implemented in order to reduce costs. A budget limit of $175 million will be established. Nowadays, there is no budget limit, and that allows that large teams reach expenditure for up to $400 million. Other builders may enter at F1 car race and a standard vehicle part for all teams. Until nowadays, they were manufactured by the differential external companies and did not produce significant improvement. Affected parts are steering wheels, pedals, brake, and tires. Then, about the changes in aerodynamic. The objective in that vehicle are equally fast, but changing how the aerodynamic load is generated, simplifying the structure of the car fairing. Mainly, the engineering will focus on the flat bottom and diffuser of the car. With the current design, the air is very turbulent and creates dirty air, which affect the car behind, generating a worse aerodynamic load, losing grip, and overheating the brake and internal element causing that the overtaking is even more difficult. Two different kinds of Venturi tunnels will be implemented on both sides, which will be opened in the front to accelerate the flow of air under the car, creating a low pressure area. Currently, the Formula One uses two different engines, one combustion and an electric motor. This is called a hybrid engine. Firstly, there is a combustion engine of 1,600 cubic centimeters with 6 cylinders and a turbocharger. The maximum power is achieved with 12,000 revolutions per minute. The 750 horsepower as provided by this engine. Apart from the combustion engine, there is another engine, an electric one now as an energy recovery system which offer about 160 horsepower. The resulting power of these two engines is about 900 horsepower. The changes to be implemented in 2021 regarding the engines will be hybrid technology will be closest thing to what a street car used. It will not be as sophisticated. The revolution limit will be 18,000 revolutions per minute. The engine will be cheaper. The current technology is very expensive, though, so there will be internal design parameters established by the organization. Less complex. Currently, the engine has 6 main power elements, but with the new regulation, the cars will only have the engines, energy recovery in braking, the turbo compressor will be simple with weight and dimension restriction, cheaper standard battery, and less engine maps. There are currently several engine maps, engine saving, fuel saving, braking. With their regulation, they want to leave only one configuration. In this video, we have looked at it is expected that the competition will undergo the most important change in the regulation of Formula One competition. With this change, the competition will be more equal in terms of for the aerodynamics and the engines of the car, so the race will be more exciting. To end, thanks to reduction in the cost that the equipment will have, new cars can be designed with a greater number of engine and equipment constructors. Thank you for your attention and we hope you like this video.